Hi everyone, Leon here and welcome to session 9 of your Let's Move journey. Today we are going to focus on posture and stability and cover the importance of effective breathing techniques. Posture can be very personal and specific to you. It's how you align your bones, stabilize your muscles so you can adopt effective positions to be able to undertake movement with minimal stress. This in turn can reduce joint and muscle pain and aid us to move more freely. Right everybody, let's get warmed up. Welcome back Mum, good to see you.
Thank you.
Are you ready to go?
Yes, I am.
Right, so we're gonna get warmed up, let's get that blood circulating and let's get them muscles and joints nice and warm if they are feeling a little bit stiff this morning. So everybody, make sure you're in an upright position with your shoulders back and down, okay? Lengthen spine best you can, okay? Chin parallel to the floor with your feet hip width apart and your weight evenly distributed. We're going to start off by getting into a nice upright march, okay? So upright march on the spot. Let's get the hips moving, the knees, and let's warm up those ankles as well. If you need the support of the chair or the dining room table or the worktops in the kitchen, just remember you've got those available to you if you need that additional support. So let's put the arms in a little bit more, Mum, so we can get a little bit of a double workout through the shoulder as well. So 90 degrees on the elbow, and if we take the elbows back, you can see some nice, good movement through the shoulder joint. Okay?
Yeah.
Start to lift those knees a little bit higher. And just remember, go at your own pace. I can see that my mum's progressing through this journey. She walked this fast when we first started, were you, Mum?
No, I don't think I were, really.
And relaxing there. Just regain your good stable base of support and take it out into a toe tap. So nice and light on your toes. Keep that good wide base of support so you're always coming back to feet hip width apart. We've got the chest out, the chin up. And try and avoid looking down at your toes. And take the feet out to the side. So taking it out to the side, it's going to challenge a little bit of stability and balance now. And again, if it's just a little toe tap, then just use the little toe tap. If you've got the support, you can use the support. And if you want to challenge yourself, really stride out. And we've always got a soft knee, so we can stabilize that knee joint as well, which will help us with his balance. All right, take a little bit of a step back. So it's a step back, Mum. It's going to challenge you. If you need the support, Mum, use it. That's what it's there for. But just remember, don't put any weight through the chairs, because the chairs will move and you will move with them.
I'm trying to do it without the chairs as much as I can. So I only really use it if I need that bit of extra balance.
Yeah. And you find it, obviously, is that you wanting to challenge yourself?
Well, it is, yeah. They're all a challenge.
And back to a nice, steady march on the spot. Start to lift those knees a little bit higher if we can. It's like I always say, if it doesn't challenge you, it doesn't change you, Mum.
Exactly.
And relax in there. Hands down by your side. Take it into a side bend. So we take one hand down towards the floor. Don't lean forwards or back. Keep your head, neck, spine in line. So the head goes over with you. And back up. Hands by your side. All right, we can get into a rotation. So we can rotate round and a little look over your shoulder. Okay, and then hands back by your side. Okay, if you want to If your shoulders are okay, you can put your hands across your chest there and go into that. I know your shoulder's not been particularly that good, has it, Mum?
No, but I've hurt my other shoulder now.
Oh, is it your other one? Is it the garden and the allotment?
I don't know, I don't think so. I think I just turned over in bed.
and it can be, and relax, and it can be a little bit like that, all right, where you just think, I've not even done anything, but I've woke up and I've been laid funny.
Yeah.
So exercise and getting warmed up, let's try and just loosen it up and just warm up that area and try and get some movement and mobility back in. Okay. So that is the warm-up complete. Today's session is based around posture and stability. So we're going to move in to a posture check. Right, Mum, we're going to look at posture to start off with. And we have referred to posture quite a lot throughout this program before we've gone into any movement. So I'm hoping everyone is starting to understand the importance of what posture is to them and how it can affect their ability to move. So for you, Mum, what do you think, what is posture to you?
Is it sort of sitting correctly, standing, walking?
Yeah, and I would accept that, but what I would add to it is that posture is very personal, all right? It's very specific to the individual. So everybody's posture is going to be different, and there'll be loads of different factors that will affect an individual's posture. So what I'm trying to say is there's probably no right or wrong, but as an individual, you need to start to understand what your optimum position is that can enable you to carry out the tasks of daily living more efficiently or at your best.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's how we organise the body.
Right.
All right, in a nutshell.
Got that.
Okay, so what we need to do, Mum, and I'm going to join in, okay, we're going to get into a straightforward march, a little bit like what we've just done in the warm-up, okay? So I want you to think about your posture whilst you're marching. All right, and I'm going to give you no indications of what you should be looking out for. So when you're ready, everybody, let's go. Everybody get into a nice steady march.
Right.
I can hear them cogs turning, Mum, from here. And like I said, there's no right or wrong, so don't be like thinking, oh, am I this or am I that?
Well, I'm trying to keep my shoulders back, chin up.
Right.
A good balance.
Well, you look balanced at the minute.
Yeah, I'm not doing too bad. I'm getting better at this. Coordination's improving.
Yeah.
Well, I think.
And the thing is, that is practice.
Yeah.
That is practice. And relax. So just on that with the coordination, I know we're sidetracking a little bit, but coordination, it is a skill. All right, so the more you practice it, the better you get at it.
Yeah.
So when you were doing the march then, what were you thinking about?
I was thinking about trying to keep my shoulders back and my spine as straight as it could be and just move my legs.
Right. Anything to do with your feet?
No.
No. So you.
No,
So you got.
I was thinking about all this.
You got as far.
I got
as
as far
that.
as here.
Yeah. And did it feel natural when you were getting into that march? Or were you kind of stiffening up a little bit?
I wasn't stiffening up,
No.
but I was really concentrating.
Right. Good. Yeah. And I thought that looked from where I was stood, that looked really good.
Oh, thank you.
Okay. So what I'm going to do now is we're going to try and organise that body a little bit more effectively. Okay.
Right.
So I want to start off at the pelvis. Okay. So imagine the pelvis is full of water. Okay. So it's a bowl of water, and if I tilt the pelvis back there, okay, so I'm in that position, where's the water going to go?
Forward.
Yeah, so the water's going to flow out of the bowl there.
Yeah.
If I tilt the pelvis back, Where's the water gonna go?
Backwards.
Out the back.
Yes.
All right. So what I want you to do is, and everybody else at home, okay, just start to tilt that pelvis forwards and back until you find a happy medium where the water is going to be level. All right.
Oh.
So find a happy medium where it's level.
Okay.
And then stand and keep it there. Now,
Yeah.
does that feel in a different position to what you'd normally have it in?
I don't know. It's difficult to say.
Does it feel natural now, or does it feel as though you're having to hold it in a slightly different place?
I think I feel as I'm holding it in a slightly different place.
Yes, you probably will be.
Right.
Okay, so now we've got it in this neutral position. So we've got a neutral pelvis here. All right, we're going to get back into a march. All right, I want you to think about that heel to toe again.
Yeah.
But we're not allowed any water to spill out of the pelvis. All right, are you ready?
Yeah.
So keep the pelvis
Right.
nice and still.
That's
Okay. All right, and get into that nice steady march again. All right, and like you were before, shoulders back and down. We've got that chin up. That's good. And let's have a look.
How's it going? Does it look
It
good?
looks, yeah, it looks really good. And what we're looking for, obviously, we're aiming to try and get as close to this midline here. So ear, shoulder, all right, hip, knee, and ankle all in one long line.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So looking at my mum from this position, I'm happy that she's in a good upright position to do some marching. Okay.
Right.
And relax and relax and relax. Well, luckily I didn't see any water spill, so that's good, Mum. But did you feel as though you were carrying yourself and that you organised yourself a little bit better on that second time around?
Possibly.
Yeah.
Possibly, yeah.
Okay, so what we want to do is we want to be a little bit more conscious of that, but not enough where it's distracting us actually from the movement.
Right.
Because there is a tendency when we're focusing on posture too much that we will start to stiffen up, okay?
Yeah.
And we'll be forgetting to breathe and relax at the same time.
I do.
Okay.
Forget to breathe.
Yeah. So when you're in there and you're getting into them good starting positions, organise yourself, okay? So chin up, shoulders back and down, all right? Stabilise. We're going to look at stabilising the pelvis later on in the session, but try and get the pelvis in a neutral position so we've got a nice, good, stable base, and we've got the feet hip width apart, and the ankles, knees, and hips are all in one long line. Mm-hmm. Okay? So, yeah, excellent.
Right.
So that's the opener for today's session. We're now going to focus on a very important topic, which is breathing.
Right.
Right, Mum. So we're going to look at breathing and look at the importance of breathing. So not just the obvious reasons to why we breathe. We're going to look at a technique called diaphragmatic breathing.
Oh.
Yeah, quite a mouthful, but also known as belly breathing. And the reason why is because as we age, we tend to adopt a shallower breathing pattern, known as chest breathing, and it's not as efficient as belly breathing. All right, so belly breathing, it encourages oxygen exchange. Okay, it can also slow heart rate and lower and stabilize blood pressure, and it can also reduce levels of the stress hormone cortisol.
Right.
So if you've ever been in a situation where you've been stressed and somebody said to you, "Look, Janet, calm down, take a deep breath," there's a reason for that, and there's the science to back it up. Okay, so we can put the body in a relaxed, calm position.
Okay.
So belly breathing. All right, make sure that you've thought about your posture whilst we're in this chair. Okay, we put one hand on the chest and one hand on the belly. What we're going to do is we're going to exhale and clear the lungs first. We take a good deep breath in through the nose, and then we're going to draw down that oxygen down into the belly. So the hand on the belly, you'll feel the belly rise, but no rising of the chest. All right, hold it for a couple of seconds once you've taken the breath in, and then exhale with pursed lips out of your mouth. Okay, and you'll feel that stomach wall come back towards your spine at that point. Okay. So when you're ready, Mum, clear those lungs first, and then take a good deep breath in through the nose and feel that stomach wall rise as you draw down that oxygen into your stomach. Relax the shoulders, neck, and head as well. And that's it. Just exhale, clear those lungs through pursed lips. And try it again, Mum. So the reason why we use pursed lips is because it will restrict the amount of oxygen we can release, so it slows the whole process up, so we can take longer, deeper breaths. And relax. How did you find that?
It was okay. It's not easy to do though.
It's not, and you
Pressing down into your tummy.
You're probably not used to doing it as well. All right, so it is a skill. All right, is it highly effective? And it will be rewarding, especially if it can put you in a good place from a calm point of view and a relaxed point of view, because it will aid in reducing those pain levels, or it can do.
I think it'll be easier to do laid down.
And yeah, you can do this laid down because you're not having to maintain this upright posture and structure.
That's right.
Okay, so yeah. Maybe try it in a laid position to start. You could do it in bed.
Yeah.
Okay. So, right, practice that in your own time. We're going to be moving on. We're looking at spine stabilization next.
Okay.
Right, everyone. First up, we're going to look at stabilizing the spine. So, referring back to the breathing techniques that we've covered, okay, a good deep breath in through the nose, draw the air down into the belly and create some abdominal pressure, okay? When we breathe out, slow and controlled through pursed lips. So in through the nose and then out through the mouth. Feeling the abdominal wall retract back to the spine on the way out, we want to maintain that stiffness and that tightness of the abdominal muscles, the muscles on the front of the stomach, okay? And all those muscles around the core will be activated and they will support the spine. And relaxing there, Mum. All right, so stabilizing the spine, we've got that bit. We're now going to look at stabilizing the hips, okay? So starting position, we need to find that neutral pelvis, okay? So neutral pelvis to start with your bowl of water, Mum.
All right.
Okay, so find your level, and once we've found us level, we can be sure that the spine and the rib cage is in line with the pelvis, all right?
Okay.
From there, I want you to squeeze your butt cheeks together, all right? So squeeze your buttocks together, and what you'll feel is you'll feel your hips corkscrew into the ground. So we end up with this movement here, all right? So my right foot wants to go out clockwise, and my left foot wants to go out anti-clockwise, all right? At that point, when we squeeze those butt cheeks together, okay, you'll feel your lower back flatten off and that pressure and tension loosen through the lower back. That's because the hips are then stabilized and they start to take some of the strain, okay? So just practice that a couple of times, squeeze, and then relax. All right, squeeze and then relax. So that is hip stabilization. So we're stabilizing the hips, and then automatically you can feel the benefits of that by reducing that pressure and gravity that's going through the discs of the spine.
Okay.
Next up, and lastly, we're going to focus on stabilizing the shoulder, okay? So the hip is a ball and socket, and we corkscrew and we can stabilize the hips. We can also do the same with the shoulder, Okay, so if I'm stood up, as I stand naturally, my thumbs face each other. Do yours, Mum?
Yeah.
So as they face each other, if you look at, if I turn my thumbs back towards myself, there, you can see what happens to my shoulders. Okay, it takes me into this kind of this forward flexion. All right, so that's not going to be good because it's going to put a lot of pressure and strain through the neck and spine. So from here, we want to make sure the thumbs are facing forwards, and again, we've got this corkscrewing effect. And if you look what happens to my shoulders as I take those thumbs out to face forwards, we end up with this movement where it opens up the chest and it stabilizes the shoulder. If we can stabilize the shoulders, we can reduce the pressure and strain on the head and the neck, okay? So we're in that position. If you were to take your thumbs even further out, like you've done, Mum, into that anatomical position, again, it's putting us in a really effective upright position, okay? Now, obviously we can't walk when we're in this position because we've stabilized the shoulders, the hips are stabilized, the spine's supported, and we can't move like this, all right? So what we have to do is we have to find a happy medium. So think about all those three things: stabilizing the hips, stabilizing the spine, stabilize the shoulders, and then try and relax a little bit and take it into a march, all right? So the thumbs are facing forwards, elbows are tucked in as well, okay? So as soon as the elbows come out, we lose that stabilization of the shoulders. Elbows tuck in, and we're thinking about all those things. And just go for a walk. Just go for a walk, and next time you're out, this is a great way to walk for health. How are you feeling, Mum?
Okay.
You're looking great, you're looking great.
Thank you.
And relax and relax. There is a lot to take in, and obviously we've got the breathing.
There is a lot to take
as well, okay? But it is practice, 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 and you will reap the benefits of it. Right, everybody, we're gonna move on to some lifting off a surface. Right, everyone, myself and my mum are gonna demonstrate how to safely pick an object up off a surface or up off the floor, okay? So if you've got anything around the house that you can use, don't pick anything that's too heavy. It's important that you master and practice the technique first, because there is lots of different stages involved to make it safe lifting, okay? So watch this technique first and then practice in your own time. Right, Mum, I want you to face the chair, okay? So organize yourself in the best upright position for you, okay? So we've got feet hip width apart, nice soft knees, all right? And shoulders back and down, chin up, chest out. So we're in a good starting position. Elbows tuck into your side, okay, with your hands out in front. And from there, we need to now focus on a hip hinge. So we want to hinge from the hips and not from the waist. So don't hinge from the waist, hinge from the hips. So when you're ready, Mum, in your own time, hinge from the hips. Keep soft knees, that's it. And take hold of the box. Now from there, okay, whilst Mum's in this position, just for demonstration purposes, she's going to breathe in, she's gonna fill up that belly, create abdominal pressure, okay, so she's got that pressure and that stability around her spine. She's now going to take the weight of the box, and as she comes back up into standing and lifts, she's gonna breathe out through pursed lips, okay? And then as she finishes here, she's now got the elbows tucked in the side, all right? She's stabilized that shoulder and she's in a nice, good, strong, upright position. She's now gonna repeat that process backwards and take it back down. So soft knees, Mum, okay? We're going to take it back into a hip hinge, but first, take a good deep breath, okay? Really draw down that oxygen down into the belly, create tension, and then slow and controlled, hip hinge down towards the chair, extend those arms and keep the head, neck and spine in line. let the chair take the weight of the object, and slow and controlled, come back up, breathe out, and relax in there. Right, Mum, you carry on with that one, so we can build some strength in those arms. And I'm just going to do a quick demonstration of picking an object off the floor. So exactly the same, but obviously greater ranges of movement. So from here, okay, good deep breath, get some abdominal pressure, elbows tucked in, and then we're taking it down, hips are going back and down, keeping the head in line. We're gonna get greater ranges of movement through the knees, and then once we take the weight, really engage them muscles in the stomach, and then breathe out. On the way up, elbows tuck into the side, stabilize the shoulders, and then I can walk around and carry this object wherever I need to. All right, I'm in a nice, good, upright, strong position. Taking it back down again. So good deep breath, create that abdominal pressure, support that spine, okay? Pelvis in neutral, hips go back and down. And again, slow and controlled, take the object back down to the floor, and then we're gonna come back up. So slow and controlled, back up, back into standing. And relax, Mum, relax.
Thank you.
How did you find that?
Okay.
All right, so master the technique first, and then you can progress it by adding a little bit of weight. But if you are unsure, obviously, if you do suffer from back pain, take it nice and steady to start. You could just master that move, pretending that you're lifting something, so you can get into that hip hinge. Right, everyone, we're gonna go into some useful tips that could help you with your posture in everyday life. Right, everyone, first up, we're going to look at a forward global bend. So make sure you're in a supported, upright, seated position. The movement on the forward bend is going to start at the neck, okay, focusing on bending bit by bit down through the spine, okay? So hands down by your side. We're going to exhale on the way down. So take a good deep breath in first, and then as you start to exhale, take the head forward, and bit by bit, take that bend down as far as you can go. Try not to take your bum off the chair. And then when you're at the bottom, breathe in on your way back up. Back up into a good neutral seated position. And again. And relax when you get up. And that is a really good stretch to stretch off the back pretty much from vertebrae to vertebrae as you're working your way down. If at any point you feel any sharpness in pain or discomfort, then don't take it as far, okay? Right, everyone, the next tip we're going to use is one that's associated with using keyboards, okay? So pretend you've got your keyboard, Mum, all right? This is quite common. And just relax in there and just work out where your positioning is of your arms, all right? And as you can see, we naturally want to just take those arms out. Well, like before, as soon as we take those elbows out, look at what happens with the posture through the shoulders, which is gonna put more strain through the head and neck. Right. So make sure the elbows tuck in, create 90 degrees at the elbow, and we want to aim to keep the forearm and the wrist and the hand flat, all right? Because we get a lot of people that are like this in there. It goes without saying that we want to make sure that the screen in front of us is directly at eye level, all right? So it's avoiding this forward flexion, okay? Because again, you're gonna put pressure through your spine and through your head and neck, all right? So elbows tuck in, 90 degrees, at the elbows, and the forearms are parallel to the floor with the wrists, and the the shoulders are stabilizing this movement, all right? And we can type from there, okay? If you've got your mouse, try and keep your mouse in line just off to the side of your keyboard. So you're not going out here into that position, because again, we're putting pressure through the shoulder. So we have the mouse out in front there, and we can come back here, and then we can type. All right, elbows tuck in. Right, lastly, just with the mobile phone, a massive issue in today's society is this forward flexion, everybody looking down, okay? So ideally, we want to stabilize them shoulders again, elbows tuck in, okay? We take the screen up directly out in front, all right? And we want to try and get the front of the arm, okay, facing the ceiling, all right? So up towards the ceiling there. And this, while the shoulders are stabilizing, this is going to take as much pressure, all right, off your head and neck as possible. So, because what we tend to do is we tend to be in here, we're forward flexing, then the elbows are out in there, all right? So it might feel a bit unnatural to do it this way, but if you do struggle with head and neck and lower back pain, this will help you in the long run, all right? So we want to be in this position to use the mobile phone, okay? Right, everyone, we're going to move on to the last section of today, which is looking at trigger point. Right, everyone, for this last section, you need an object with a round, smooth surface. So myself and Mum have found some tennis balls.
Yeah.
We've got a mini ball as well, which could use a rolling pin, tins of beans. You could use a water bottle, make sure it's got water in and the lid's nice and tight on it. Okay, but we're going to look at trigger point, all right? And it's associated with myofascial release, all right? That sounds a lot long-winded, but in a nutshell, okay, this technique can help you to self-manage pain.
Okay.
All right, so trigger point. Trigger point is the point in which we feel the pain. Okay, now trigger point can actually refer pain to a different area of the body. So if we do feel pain in the muscle, in any particular area, okay, it can radiate pain in and around that area. So we can look to work up and downstream in and around those areas, okay? So, for example, me and my mum have got the tennis ball, okay? We're working on the forearm to start, so I'm gonna work up in and around the elbow. To start with, just move the ball or the surface that you're using around that area, over the muscle, until you find a stiff, maybe painful area, okay? And then you're gonna apply some pressure to that area, all right? If it is too painful, then work downstream or upstream, come away from that trigger point, all right? So we apply some tension through that muscle, Mum.
Yeah, I'm
right?
doing that.
Yeah. And then from there, we want to mobilize. So we're gonna move the hand or the wrist so that we can start to get those muscles gliding across each other whilst we're still applying pressure. And my mum's using the table, and again, I could use my thigh to rest on, and just move the wrist in all kinds of different directions. And you might want to move the ball over to a different area.
It's quite nice, that.
So we apply pressure and then we mobilize and relax. Take it a bit down towards the wrist, Mum.
Okay.
Find an area near the wrist, because I know your wrists are not particularly
this one.
good, are they? So just move the ball around, okay? Encourage some blood flow first, and then apply a bit of pressure on a pain, on an area of tightness, stiffness or discomfort, and then work from the wrist. So work from the wrist, taking it in different directions. Okay. And relax. Now you can basically pick any muscle group if you can get pressure into that area with the object. All right, so for example, with the chest, we could get into the chest here. Okay, we can lean against the wall whilst we're stood up to get pressure against that ball or whatever object is we're using. And then once we apply that pressure, we can move the arm as well. Okay, so as we start to move the arm and those muscles are gliding, muscle fibers are gliding across each other, we can start to reduce that stiffness and that tightness. Another one is hamstrings. So you could do the hamstrings whilst you sat down, sit on the ball. All right, if it is a bit if it's quite painful with a small tennis ball, you could use a larger surface. And from there, yep, that's it, Mum. Take it out into an extension. And my hamstrings are really tight, so I find this one really painful. And you can just work in and around that area. And then hamstrings, you could go into the glutes, okay, into the buttocks. So you almost sit on it, on the muscly bit. And then from there, Mum, put your feet flat on the floor. You're going to squeeze your buttocks together.
Right.
Whilst we're sat on that ball.
Yeah.
So squeeze, activate the muscles, and relax in there. And there is, because we have got pain and discomfort, whilst we're probably working those areas, there is a tendency to tighten up and stiffen up. So try and relax and focus on your breathing. But yeah, use some of those objects, try and get the muscles rolled off, encourage blood flow, find the trigger point, okay, and then mobilize that area, working up and downstream, okay? Right, everyone, let's get cooled off. Right, everyone, start off with a nice seated march, okay? So, want to get that blood circulating a little bit because it has been a bit stop-start this session today, but a very important one with posture and stability. So there's lots of things for you to practice, Mum.
Yeah, loads. Breathing especially.
And relax in there. Slide one foot out, get a good stretch through that ankle. Chest out, chin up. And then slowly back in, take the other one out. And fetch it back in there, okay? Hands down by your side. Slide one hand down towards the floor. So take it into a side bend. You want to hold it at the bottom. Keep your bum on the chair, don't lean forwards or back. And keep your head, neck and spine in line. And then slowly back up. And then take it down the other side. And then slowly back up. Hands on your thighs. We're going to rotate out, so a little look to your left. And as we come across, keep your chin parallel to the floor. Take it round as far as you feel comfortable. Hold that position. And slowly back round. Take it out the other side. And then you can use this supporting hand to pull and try and develop that stretch a little bit. And then slowly back round into there. One hand in front of the other. Take it out as far as you can go. So feel the shoulder blades come apart. And then lower the chin down towards the chest. And then squeeze, pulling them shoulder blades apart. So stretching off all those back muscles. And fetch those arms back in. Big roll of the shoulders up. Take them back. Let them naturally lower back into place. Put us back into a neutral seated position. Everybody, give yourself a big clap. And that concludes today's session. Lots to think about, lots to go home and practice, okay? And don't go anywhere because we're moving on to your weekly activity dose. Hi everyone, and welcome to your weekly activity dose. Quick recap on last time around. We asked you to pick a balance exercise from the workout and record your daily progress throughout the week. This week, we would like you to focus on a health walk where your aim is to get yourself slightly out of breath. We would like you to really focus on what you've learnt today in organising your body effectively for exercise. Remember to record those pain levels within your activity tracker and be sure to let us know how you're getting on through our social media channels. Well done everybody again today, and we look forward to seeing you next time.